Hello again. Back with some more X-Men Legends. This is Fro, aka Fro Fighter, whatever you might know me by, or whatever extension of that might know me by. Fighting game commentator slash general video game fan, playing some of the games that I enjoy over here on this little casual stream of mine, just really for my own enjoyment and chronicling purposes. And if people happen to come by and enjoy what's going on, then all the better. All right, so last time out, what happened was we just finished the first mission in the Harp facility, and then proceeded to meet Nightcrawler, where we went through one of the first available flashback missions in the game, which are stories that are kind of connected with with the past of the X-Men. And if I'm not mistaken, there is another one available, and there is a specific character I want to find in order to confirm the idea. Is he here? No, not looking for Cyclops, as unusual as that might be, considering how much I stand that character. I'm also going to be doing some Danger Room stuff, but I do want to. Oh, I think I. Yeah, okay, so I think I need to finish this first before I can go and do what I had in mind.
Hello, Allison. I was hoping to see you today.
Hi, Perfect. I'm not sure.
So, yes.
I wanted to.
That's excellent news, Allison. You've made a very wise choice.
Thank you, Patrick Stewart.
Thank you,
So,
sir.
the idea is
Now
that
that you're
since
astute,
Allison
I'd like
is our point of view character and newest entry into the X-Men. We go through these things with her that kind of are her induction into the team, and this is going to be the first bit of that. So, to kind of refresh on what kind of character Allison is, she can be a long range fighter, but she is really at her best when she does what I just did here, turn into this form and just throw fiery fists at things. Ooh. Experience gains are kind of the same as they were when we did some Danger Room stuff in the previous sessions. So I'm not expecting a level up, but with 22 of these things to fight, we might just get there in time. All right, armor up just to reduce any damage from any stray hits we might take here. Use the lava tracks to move a bit faster. Oh, we got a couple of these guys hiding here. Oh, my camera's stuck. Camera was stuck. Okay. Yeah, what I'm doing here is hitting circle and then mashing X. That gives me the longest possible series of consecutive attacks that I can do. And considering the amount of damage on each of these hits is probably the best thing to do, better than going for any tripping combos or anything like that. I could do pop-up or, oh wow, he actually blocked it. We could do some of the other things just to kind of take some enemies out of commission for a bit. But honestly, it's best to just take them out as fast as we can. Oh. We do want that damage reduction to be on as much as we can. Alright, nice and easy. Nothing too complicated here, just punching down a bunch of robots. So, okay, yeah, we're pretty much locked in to get a level up from this. And I think that's the last room that's going to be, like, the most crowded one. So let's clean up over here first. Or I might have been mistaken. Yeah, this was the one. So I'm going to need to go back to that side room in a minute here. And the fire reform is not lasting long at all. I think I was supposed to do some more Danger Room optional missions for a while. Ooh, Sunfire's Mask. I don't remember what that does. I think it adds some extra, little bits of extra fire damage onto things, but I'll double check that. We got a level up too, so I'll be in the menu in just a minute here once I take care of these guys. Oh, one more left. And let's pop them up, slam them down. That's an automatic thing on the pop-up combo. If I press the heavy attack again, it makes me do an automatic jump up. That might have been a minor inspiration from Marvel vs. Capcom. Excellent. More Fiery Form, more Burning Rage. How much did that add? Okay, so we're getting about 1.5 to twice the amount of energy damage. Let's keep improving body for Magma since she's in close quarters so much. Use this to make traversal just a bit faster. It's too bad we can't hold it to just keep going. Like, it just has a set distance based on how well leveled the move is. That is so annoying that they just run away first. Okay, that's the last of them. 3 robots on the screen, 3 left to beat.
And stay down.
And that'll do it. So that finishes the first part of it.
Interesting readings on your powers. I'll show you after the test.
Alright, yeah. Little misdirection that Xavier is doing here is like after the test, which I assumed meant this one, but instead, we're just thrown right back in the
While
mix.
This is only an exercise. You are in a minimal amount of jeopardy.
Alright. It's funny how you can armor up before the camera zooms in, but you can also take hits. So if for whatever reason you're on really low health before that starts, which is unlikely, you could just die in this sequence before you even get a chance to play. Let's see. Oh, I was supposed to follow it up, and I keep pressing the wrong button. Okay, let me try on the next one. Fire up, and yeah. Did you just say who's bad? Alright. I completely forgot she has that line. Alright. Keep that damage reduction up and punch out as many of these guys as I can. Strike Enhancer. More free cash for whenever I actually get access to the shop. Another Strike Enhancer. Like, I wish equipping these actually helped out Allison at all, but because she uses elemental combat, that's completely useless. If you're here and you've seen the previous streams, you already know this, but you know, always want to put out my refresher info just in case. Keep things in mind for once I was on the screen. Okay, yeah, we hit the threshold for that.
The kid's got potential.
Indeed.
That's not how I was fighting.
Professor, the safety protocols are failing.
As is always expected.
Wait.
Stop!
Cooked them.
What just happened?
I never noticed that echo there to kind of signify that Allison might be a little bit out of it.
Am I in trouble?
Not at all, my child. Scott?
Professor, I haven't seen energy readings like this since...
Now, if you know your X-Men lore, you know that that is bad news, because the Phoenix is basically one of the most powerful cosmic entities in the entire Marvel universe, so getting readings on that level, pretty huge. Yeah, that does finish our first Allison Danger Room sequence.
Are you
Allison
all right,
exclusive for the story, I should
I'm
say.
fine, Professor Xavier. Well,
I understand this was a very trying
but I won't need to learn about my powers if I never use them again.
That wouldn't be a wise course of action. I encourage you to take...
I don't know, Professor
I encourage you to
Xavier.
take my cut voice clip.
Let me think about it.
Now, Allison is understandably, like, really shook by everything that just happened. And, you know, that she's kind of trying to get herself out of the whole idea of being an X-Man altogether. And it's understandable. She's a kid. She's suddenly experiencing stuff that's a bit too much for her. At the same time, you know, I can kind of see both points of view. Some people could think that Allison is kind of being forced into this a bit, and I could see that viewpoint. But imagine having something on that level and not being able to control it. Here's Beast. Okay, I was looking for him earlier.
Greetings and salutations, Allison.
Did anyone tell you what I did in the...
My dear, I heard the explosions through the soundproof walls of this laboratory.
I should
Even
look up who the
Wolverine
voice
never
actor
managed
for
to
Beast
accomplish that
is.
Not to worry. The Danger Room is always suffering one type of catastrophe or another.
What if...
That's preposterous. Of course you can.
You just haven't leveled up
You
enough.
simply need to persevere in your training.
Are the X-Men...
No, but there are times when trouble seeks us out, right here at the mansion.
What?
Juggernaut's mind was set on murder that day. The murder of his brother.
Which, if you don't know your X-Men lore, Juggernaut's brother or half-brother is none other than Professor X himself. So
Thanks for...
now we get to play another flashback. If you're watching and you caught the previous episode or previous session of this game, I guess, we played a flashback mission alongside Nightcrawler where with the whole team we fought off a whole bunch of Sentinels. This is another cool little flashback we have, and two guesses as to who the opponent's going to be here. But I do think this is some of the coolest stuff available in the game.
Where's Xavier? Where's my half-brother? Tell that runt Kane Marcos come home to bring the pain.
Just in case you didn't know that he's my half-brother, I gotta yell it out.
Juggernaut appears quite perturbed.
And you
Where's the professor?
see the X-Men in their early
In the
60s
sub-basement.
outfits.
But we have to make sure Juggernaut doesn't make it that far.
Ready for pain?
Alright, so this is the team we have, which is the 4 of the 5 original X-Men in this game
I'm on it.
that are available to play. Oh, we got level ups on Cyclops. Maybe on some of the others. Okay, yeah, on Beast and Jean as well. So Cyclops just got to level 10, so that gives us 2 stat points. So this is our first point going into body, not focus. And he can't level up Optic Blast to its next level for a while. So in the meantime, we're going to focus on his passives. And we'll go for Leadership and Point Blank Shot. Now, Beasts. He's at level 8. I don't know what would be best to do here. Yeah, we can level up Bestial Feats since that reduces physical damage and, well, we're fighting a physical enemy. Iceman doesn't have a level up, but Jean Grey does. Let's see, Psychic Shout, no. Telekinetic Shield. Telekinetic Combat still needs a few levels, and Psionic Strike won't improve much. So we might as well get on this buff. Reduced damage for Jean, I mean, depending on how you build her, she could end up frail or tanky, but, I mean, getting tankier when you can is never a bad thing, I guess. Let's get some damage in here on Juggernaut. Okay, yeah, he's armoring up, and I'll control Iceman for one reason. This battle could go so much longer if I just let AI Iceman kind of do his thing. The thing with it is that since Iceman has a slowing effect on his beam, he could slow down Juggernaut's animations to a crawl, and this fight ends up taking much, much longer as a result. So I should probably just play Iceman for the entirety of this fight. There's a little destruction meter over there. That meter you see above Cyclops' head in the HUD, it's there to let us know that if it fills up, Juggernaut wins.
Hey, give me back my helmet. It's the only thing that keeps me safe from psychic mutants.
Thank you for telling us your weakness.
Yes.
Alright, now we can do big damage, big melee damage with Jean, now that Juggernaut is no longer mental resistant.
Okay.
Don't bother getting up, because I'll just knock you down again.
Yes.
Alright,
Okay.
this is going very smoothly, should be done with it in maybe a couple of times that he sets up his little invincibility shield.
I'm unstoppable.
Yes.
Or as Vinnie Jones once put it, I'm not gonna say the line. Everybody knows the line. Okay, yeah. Come here, Iceman. Don't ice him up.
Okay.
Will do.
All right, keep blasting him. One more? No, one more. There we go.
This is quite agreeable.
Very nice. Very nice. Good stuff, Juggernaut, with that little laugh. The nice stuff with all these load times is that it gives me time to answer some messages in between. Real professional streamer hours here. But yeah, there we go. That is the other flashback available during this X-Mansion intermission. And I wonder if I should do some Danger Room stuff. We did talk to both Jubilee and Nightcrawler, who I remember to be the two characters we can unlock at this point. I'll double check that I didn't miss anybody. Oh, there is one character we can talk to that isn't playable, but, you know, can be worth talking to just because of who they are.
Hello, little girl. Come to talk to Toad, have you? Come now, dearie. Surely you're not frightened of poor old Toad.
Definitely,
No.
definitely not. Heck, I
I'm
wish you were
not afraid
playable.
of you.
Considering what you can do in X-Men Legends 2 when you're like one of the most busted characters in the game for whatever reason.
Is Toad really your name?
No, the real name's Mortimer Toynbee, but they call me Toad because of how I look.
Go figure.
Say, would you mind letting me out of here for a few ticks? Just to stretch me out?
Not if you gave me $1 million.
Oh, come on now. I promise to be good.
Poor Toad, always the butt of the joke. You know what, yeah, if anybody's curious, we could
Put
hear
up with all that abuse from
why
the
he puts up with all
Brotherhood.
that nonsense.
You see, the Brotherhood took me in when no one else would. They're me family, and I'm sticking with them. No matter how many times the sods ditch me.
But you could leave the Brotherhood and maybe even join the X-Men.
I like the hesitation in the voice there.
An X-Man? That'll happen the day the devil needs a snow shovel. Oh, so
There's
Yeah, the last conversation isn't really important. Just, you know, basically a very long-winded, I don't know. Alright, so let's go to the dorms, take a quick look around. We already finished the trivia game back in episode 1, I want to say, which already took a very long time, and yeah, we're not going to need to do that again. Unlike in Legends 2 and Ultimate Alliance 1, where you get a whole new set of trivia questions every time you finish one of the game's acts. Let's see. I do know a character will unlock at the end of the next mission, but I'll leave that for its time. Actually, the game's pretty much going to tell us who it is, but I'll let that kind of handle itself. Okay, nobody up here except for a whole bunch of NPCs that you can't even talk to. But it's nice that they, you know, let the mansion be populated so you wouldn't feel like you're just walking around an empty space. It is functionally empty, I guess, but the visual language being used here to tell you you're in a lived-in space, there are people here, especially for being the first game in its series. I think they took good care of putting through that kind of stuff. Hey, Kurt. Bye, Kurt. Okay, yeah, I think we have everybody set up, so in that case, we will head back to the basement and use the save point to get some Danger Room stuff done before we take on the next mission. Yeah, this PlayStation 2 of mine is having a lot of trouble with loading times. Anyway, let's go ahead to the danger room. Oh, Forge is there. Okay, yeah, before that, let's get introduced to Forge. Now, it's kind of weird, I guess, how Forge is already here when we haven't been able to speak to him in the story yet. But yeah, let's go ahead and, strike enhancers are just useless, so we'll go ahead and sell off all of that. Same goes for agility enhancers. Body and focus are kind of helpful. Targeting implant, weakness analyzers, sure. Sunfire's mask, minus 20% damage from fire, plus 9 to 11 fire damage to mutant attacks. It's basically a slightly souped up basic power enhancer, and that's not that much extra damage by the time you're level 16, which is required to put this thing on. And considering it sells for over 1,400 tech bits, it's going. Same thing here, Wrath of Wendigo. It needs level 14, which we're still a few levels off. And there's other stuff we're going to want to put in the equipment slot that it goes into. I forgot how the equipment slots are actually divvied up in terms of, nomenclature, but there is one key equipment slot that is where you want to put your most important piece of equipment, and a lot of the equipables are fighting for that one spot. It's pretty annoying. And the thing is, when you have something this that isn't as very useful like this, it's just worth it to just sell, especially since inventory space gets filled up really quick in this game. Now, let's see. Ooh, we can already buy DNA generators. Now, if you've seen how I've been playing the game so far, I think it'll be clear why I'm so excited by this, because DNA generators make you generate more energy from mutant attacks, and the speed is really noticeable. There's some unique stuff here. Ring of Polaris, flying time, which isn't much. Plus 10% experience, so I guess leveling up a bit quicker is okay, but really not that amazing. So a lot of the unique equipment is honestly a bit on the weak side. Attack and run speed plus 70%. See, level 20. I could get a basic muscle accelerator now for half of that much, and then muscle accelerators will be available long before I need to be level 20. Flight of the North Star, Manual of the Puck. A lot of these are just really, really weak. Just not really worth considering. Like plus 5 body, that's kind of cool, but again, by the time you're at level 23, that's not that much. Now this could be useful, especially since I'm planning to use Nightcrawler. But we're not fighting Sentinels again. Oh, actually, not too long from now. Might be worth. Let's see, what can we sell here? Targeting implants, weakness analyzer. This one's on Rogue. We're not using Rogue. Okay, yeah. We're gonna keep this with us on the. Are we gonna get to level 13 by that time? If I actually field the character that I plan on putting this on, then he'll probably get to the level he needs in time to use it. Okay, so let's go ahead and save all that nonsense we just did. And go to the danger room. So, what I'm going to mention with the Hammer of Nimrod and why it's key is that it buffs your damage on mutant powers against Sentinels by 125 to 150 per hit you land. Since we have some powers that hit multiple times, that could just be absolutely deadly. So, yeah, that is something to keep in mind. Let's do Combined Powers 102, and I'm going to field the character that I have planned for this. Wolverine is kind of going to be my insurance policy character if I start getting into trouble later on in the game, but for now, I think, at the very least, Cyclops and a Nightcrawler are 2 characters I plan to keep long-term for this playthrough. Jean, she's so fun in how broken she is that she probably gets to keep a spot. Storm is going to stay mostly because she is the best of the available options here. Although there might be some swapping around with Iceman in the meantime as well, since Jean is the best close range character I have out of these the team I have now, and having more than one close range character I guess could be helpful. Jubilee. Oh right, I haven't discussed Jubilee yet, so let's go ahead.
Jubilee.
So, Jubilee, there was a time on the old X-Men message boards, I want to say on the ancient temple known as GameFAQs, Jubilee was considered by a lot of people initially considered her really bad, and then a wave of Jubilee might be better than Cyclops started happening, or at least Jubilee is better than Cyclops if you take leadership out of the equation. And I take issue with that viewpoint for multiple reasons. Jubilee is a character who relies on this move, Energy Burst, which is her main power attack and the one she has that actually does damage. And the thing with that is that it's a spread move, so Jubilee has to fight up close to get the max damage that she can with this. The damage can spread, and if you have, ironically enough, Cyclops or Storm supplying leadership and people comboing with Jubilee, that could end up being helpful, and you could tag a bunch of enemies that way, but overall she cannot keep up in terms of damage because of how this move works until she gets up much higher in her level up ranks. She gets point blank shot, which is nice for her, I guess, since she needs to fight that close. She gets accuracy for some critical hits. But really, like her other abilities, Photo Flash does confusion, which makes enemies just kind of behave erratically for a bit. That's not really that useful because in this game you just want enemies to be taken out as quickly as you can. Bait, it is kind of useful, I guess, to drop down enemies' damage within the range of this, but its range initially especially is not great, but it is, I guess, her next best investment. Just a second here. All right, and yeah, we were talking about Jubilee. She is, like Cyclops, she's a one-trick pony, but she's a one-trick pony that doesn't come with the perks of an attack that has consistent high-end damage available all the way across its range, like Cyclops' Optic Beam does. Yes, it does get stronger up close, but if it's from afar, it doesn't suddenly lose a ton of damage like Jubilee's Energy Burst does. And it also doesn't come with the niche benefits that the Optic Blast can cover. And she also doesn't have leadership. So she is essentially a weaker version of Cyclops for all intents and purposes. Energy damage focused, relies on one power, doesn't have any additional source of damage that she can really depend on. And the thing is, Cyclops' source of damage, the one move he uses, is definitely better than Jubilee's. Could I field her for a bit? I mean, I guess I could use her for this bit of Danger Room stuff we're going to do. I like Nightcrawler's loading screen. Okay, 7 power combinations. The nice thing with this is that rather than doing combos the traditional way, especially since enemies are really weak right now, yeah, we can just use the generic throw. But the thing is, we can use it and just toss enemies at our teammates. Thing is, they're beating enemies too fast. Okay, there's Kurt. Come on, Jean. I know you're larger than that. Because the thing is, if I go for power, mutant power attack based combos, these guys are probably just going to explode before both attacks land. There we go. I think I hit 2 batter ups at the same time, so that ended up being pretty solid. Okay, qualifying exam 100. I didn't really get to show off what Jubilee does, I guess, but I don't know. She's just not a character I plan to use in the long term. But based on Cyclops and Jean being here, we have a lot of strong carrying ability available on this team. So we'll keep her for the qualifying exam, I guess. Yeah, Jean's art looks weird for multiple reasons.
You may commence.
Okay, so we need to destroy the generators like we did during mission 1.
Again. Generating equipment.
Alright,
Generating equipment.
good start so far, and
Well done. I
alright, now let's go ahead and use Jubilee for a bit. So you see there, like,
Generating equipment.
to start off, that was 65 damage on a critical. Cyclops is already doing about 100 damage per optic beam.
Equipment.
So I'm kind of like trying to use a case in point to show my
Generating
PlayStation is showing some stuttering here.
Okay.
So I'm kind of using this as case in point to show why I don't plan on keeping Jubilee on the team. Not that I'm going to bench every single bad character. I don't think Nightcrawler is that great, but like I mentioned, I would like to use him. That is pretty cool. Teleport Frenzy. Do I have a power enhancer on him? I think that's where the why the damage is in mid-20s, not the mid-10s. Yeah, there we go. Oh, right, I forgot to put the this thing on Cyclops. This will allow him even further spamming of optic beams.
Oh, so sorry about that.
Generating
Alright, these guys are physical resistant. Good thing Kurt went to the one that isn't physical resistant. What a clutch guy. Now, I don't really pick where Nightcrawler goes, so I'm kind of just
Generating equipment.
hoping that he's gonna get things done for me. Ooh, focus enhancer, good. Now, I think Cyclops has a basic focus enhancer on, so he gets the focus enhancer, and Mr. Wagner can get the basic one.
Generating equipment.
Alright.
Generating
Whoa,
I thought you were tougher than
when
that.
did Cyclops take all that damage? I have not paid attention to the bombs that were being dropped. But everything's good. Yeah, see, 85 damage here. It's gonna be almost 100 up close, so that's about double what Jubilee's doing. And yeah, Cyclops is already has already leveled up the optic beam, 1 level higher than Jubilee. But trust me when I say the damage disparity between them does persist.
I will comply. Generating equipment. I'm on it.
I keep using potions. We've only got
Generating
about
equipment.
a minute left to survive over here.
Generating equipment.
Look out!
Generating equipment.
I do appreciate that they tell me to look out, because sometimes you legitimately cannot see these bombs. Ooh, Sunfire's mask, free cash.
Generating equipment.
Whoa.
30 seconds.
I need help right now. Got it?
I love how she says that, like, help me or I will kill you myself.
Better luck next time.
Okay, Jubilee just leveled up. Nice chance to try out Psychic Shout a bit and show the usefulness of having an ability that can hit multiple enemies at once.
Generating equipment. 3. 1.
Watch out!
Oh, that
Qualifying exam.
pillar got in the way of me getting one more kill, but yeah, that went
Congratulations.
pretty smoothly. Not too bad of an experience haul either. Now, the good thing with what happens with qualifying exams, you might have seen when we entered this menu, we have grades, freshman, sophomore, divvied up in a typical American school year kind of style. And now we have a new set of challenges we can play. We've got Protect 201 and Defend 201, and we also have Challenge Beast. I'll do that first because it allows us to show off Beast a bit better than we've been able to so far because of one
The training course has
little
opened.
thing.
You may commence.
This hint right there. You have unlimited energy. That is what makes the character challenges fun because you can just kind of go wild. All right, pinball. Yeah, there we go. We do want pinball to go crazy. We want Beast body to be ready. All right.
Good job. Generating
Woo! Oh, well, we're kind of just rolling on a pillar here.
that will probably leave a mark. Excellent.
Yeah, he's so hard to steer.
Generating equipment.
You're going down.
All right.
Generating
See, this is what's fun about using pinball when you don't have to worry about your energy being depleted in like 3 seconds.
generating equipment. All objectives
Yep.
have been successfully achieved.
See, that was fun.
Course is now complete.
If Beast
Well
didn't take so long to get to a level of focus that allows him to sustain pinball like this, he would be so much better and so much more fun. He wouldn't necessarily be great, don't get me wrong, but he wouldn't be as bad as he is right now. Hey Wolverine, who invited you? I guess you did level up, so let's go ahead and help you out a bit here. Yeah, the points I put into Claw Flurry. I mean, I guess since I've already committed to it, for whatever time we're using Wolverine, I'll have him level that up. Alright, Iceman and Jubilee both leveled up.
Iceman.
Body and Focus, it is level 10, so we get to level that up a bit more. Ice Armor, Freeze Beam, or Freeze Blast, if we can level up Cold Crush, then we'll do that. No, then I guess we're doing Freeze Blast. Storm. I guess since we're not using Jubilee, oh right, but I don't have Nightcrawler on right now. We can have her get her buff, and oh, she doesn't have any extra points for leadership, but yeah, we'll do that later. Point and Focus. Point and Body. And bring out Kurt.
Nightcrawler.
Yeah, this should be okay. This should be fine. Now, in defense-type missions, Jean has a very important use in that she's one of our fastest ways of just knocking an enemy off their
The training
feet.
course has loaded. You may commence.
We're supposed to protect these highlighted vents.
Yes.
Generating equipment.
And these kinds of missions, just in case it wasn't immediately obvious, can get very erratic and very annoying
Set and match.
because of the things you have to deal with. But Jean's telekinesis, even with no points put into it,
Oh yeah.
is pretty useful for helping out with this kind of stuff because, being able to knock enemies off their feet quickly because you're not guaranteed to be able to kill them in one hit all the time, right? So being able to take them off their feet as quickly as possible and just get the knockdown and then continue from there is really, really useful. Now, Cyclops should be killing any energy-resistant enemies pretty quickly here. Okay, I gotta be careful of the ones that just
Generating equipment.
decide to go rogue. Alright.
Generating equipment.
This camera angle is not doing my head any favors. I'm getting a bit dizzy here.
Generating equipment.
Yeah, and Iceman's freeze beam kind of slowing down enemies is another useful thing to have. That's kind of why I put him on for
Better
this.
luck next time.
Storm's lightning blasts can also put enemies into this little shocked state. Ooh, focus enhancer. All right, lucky for you, Kurt. You get to take this. Iceman can take the focus enhancer, I guess. Yeah, okay, we've all got our focus enhanced. Uh-oh.
Generating opponent.
Join us! Help us destroy
30
the
seconds
humans!
remain. Generating opponent.
Alright.
Generating opponent.
Only just 20 seconds left. Almost there.
Generating opponent. 10
Score
seconds
one for
remain.
the good guys.
Alright, 10 seconds. I've
Generating opponent.
I've seen it go wrong here before.
3,
Gotta be careful.
1. Generating. Well done.
Yeah,
Your
see-
course is now complete.
That vent was at almost 3/4 earlier, or over that even, and all of a sudden it was down below half. That's how quickly these types of danger room scenarios can just go completely off the rails. Alright, so it's another defend mission. Protect, defend, whatever. Usually you're protecting either some kind of fixture in the area you're in, like computers, vents, whatever, or you're protecting some people. Now the thing with protecting NPCs is if you have a defensive buff that can extend
Course is now active.
to your teammates, it will
Generating
actually extend to the NPCs as well. Okay, the NPCs are behind this door, and it's actually for the best for me to just break these walls. While that'll let enemies through, the big thing is, oh my goodness, see, exactly that. What I was just starting to say. Enemies will sometimes spawn inside, and that is where it can go bad really fast. Nope. No, leave him alone. Okay, just gotta make sure. Even if enemies don't immediately get knocked down by telekinesis, it does cause them to at least flinch. So that is really helpful from Jean in how she can help these missions get accomplished. Alright, let's see. Psychic Shout or... Okay, if it's not telekinetic combat, we're doing Psychic Shout.
So much power.
Generating opponent.
Nope, stop it. Stop it. No, I said stop it. Leave the poor kids alone.
Generating
next?
opponent.
I should try to shepherd this guy a bit closer to the other one. Oh, I don't have ways to quickly break down these walls with Jean. I need Scott to do this.
Generating opponent.
I would... I think he said I would defeat the devil himself, or I would fight the devil himself with this. Yeah, just in case you didn't know, Nightcrawler is pious. It is kind of the natural hamminess of this game that whatever character trait is emphasized for each of the characters we're playing is really a lot of their personality for what they say in battle.
30 seconds remaining. Generating
Right.
opponent.
No, flamethrower guy, don't do this
I
to
thought
me.
you were tougher than that.
Generating opponent.
Okay, and
Generating opponent.
15 seconds. Keep our energy reserves up while I'm running
10
low
seconds remaining.
on energy packs. No, get back.
5,
Get back, I said. Oh my goodness, he's almost dead. 2 seconds. All right.
well
Okay.
done. Your course is now complete.
That was really close. See, with how erratic the damage from enemies can be, that could have been like one little billy club or baton swipe away from being a failure. But we got it. We got it. These missions are honestly like potentially sometimes some of the hardest stuff you can do in the game. It's so weird that that's true, but it is. All right, so that concludes what I wanted to do in the X Mansion before the next mission. So now it's time to do the next mission. Allison didn't level up, so nothing to discuss as far as she's concerned. All right, let's Let's walk forward into the war room. Yeah, Cyclops is there, but I forget what he's doing here.
Allison, I didn't mean to spy on you, but surveillance camera showed you were talking with Toad.
I didn't mean to do anything wrong.
I suppose it's okay. But you have to be very careful. Toad can be sneaky when the mood suits him.
Yeah, he seems to think he can talk me into letting him out of the bridge.
I said he was sneaky, not bright.
Who was...
Her name is Raven Darkholm.
Yeah, just telling us a bit about Mystique. Now, something that's in Cyclops' voice work and the way he says Allison and the way anytime he is like showing any kind of care towards Allison, it's like so strangely heartfelt that it almost comes off a bit weird. I don't know if anybody else can hear it the same way, but let me demonstrate, I guess.
Thanks for the info, Cyclops.
Anytime, Allison.
Like, he just has like this in between of, I don't know, maybe it's because in an American story it could be misconstrued as him showing some kind of romantic care for Allison, but to me it comes off as more of an overtly parental tone, in a sense that feels weird for a character that is definitely not that much younger than he is. But it is kind of connected with how Cyclops always feels in a really high sense of responsibility because of the kind of life he's led. Now, most X-Men games don't really delve into how much that messes him up eventually and what kind of militant actions he ends up taking as a result of that. And those are honestly kind of some of my favorite depictions of Cyclops, but I digress. We go on to whatever's going on next.
We have a potential emergency. I received this brief transmission from Gambit a short time ago.
Strange voodoo down here. Morlocks are gathered, and that's no lie. Now they coming for me.
Professor, the Morlocks are after Remy. We gotta go save him.
I agree, Rogue. We must proceed with caution.
Who are the Morlocks?
They're a tribe of mutants who have isolated themselves from the general mutant populace. They're sewer dwellers, having built an entire secret society beneath the streets of Manhattan.
Yes, and in doing so, they have become extremely hostile towards outsiders. I want a team to enter the sewers as quietly as possible and render aid to Gambit should he require it. Please keep contact with the Morlocks to a minimum.
That Cajun can't stay out of trouble, can he?
That's a trait you two share in abundance.
You get funnier by the day, Furball, you know that?
You have your mission, X-Men. Be on your way. There's no time to waste.
Patrick Stewart's like, enough of your nonsense. Get going. Alright, are we... Do we not go to the... Okay, there we go. I was about to say, like, at least... Let me make sure I have the team set up. Alright, so... Like I mentioned, Nightcrawler is going to be our main source of physical damage. Do I keep Storm... or Iceman? I'm going to keep only one of them and switch out for Jean. Yeah, I think I'll switch out Storm.
Jean Grey.
I kind of like leadership. Leadership is very, very strong, and double leadership is obviously very busted, but single leadership is already pretty busted, and you know, I don't want to feel like I have to rely on double leadership to finish this run. I've definitely, you know, finished the game even without leadership characters before, but Cyclops is my guy. I want to play him as much as I can, so that's why he stays. And now Jean, aside from her being the best character in the game, the main reason I'm picking her is because of the gimmick with this very thrilling level that we're about to play. I love this game, but this upcoming level, or at least this upcoming locale, is not my favorite. So we're here in the Morlock sewers looking for Gambit after he'd sent out an emergency transmission. And, you know, in case you couldn't put two and two together, as long as you know your X-Men and recognize the name Gambit, he is going to be our next playable character. looking for some energy packs real quick since we burned a whole bunch of them while doing that protection mission earlier.
You ain't walking away from this.
I just want to, can people get out of my way? There we go, so I can break down this wall. So yeah, every single Morlock enemy is resistant to some kind of damage. And the thing is, at least for the first few areas in this dungeon, none of them are mental resistant. And that's the reason I want Jean on board, because, you know, she does mental damage, and that is what I want to do, to focus on, to quickly take these guys out, because they can be pretty darn dangerous. Basic muscle accelerator. I think Iceman's already got one of those on.
Bring it on, G.
Would be nice to have the next level of that, be able to move even faster.
I'm on it.
Combo.
Yeah. Leadership bonus going to work. I was trying to see if I could knock him over the side of the bridge into those spikes. Throw him into the pit. Mortal Kombat style. You know, with the obvious difference of the lack of gore.
You're done for, pretties.
Alright. That voice work is stellar. Absolutely stellar. Zero faults. That take was 100% perfect. I see no problems here. Ah, right.
Combo.
I'm trying to hit the... Yeah, see, Cyclops' beams are supposed to do concussive damage, but in this game they give him the ability, like, there are certain puzzles that require you to do welding, so it's basically like an interactable element in the background where if you attack it with the optic blast, it welds it shut. And when you think about Cyclops' beams as being concussive force, that makes zero sense. But, I mean, it is what it is. It gives Cyclops another usage. And I want to say, you know, as another point, a very important point, the most important point for him against Jubilee is, as far as I can recall, Jubilee cannot weld. So another point in Cyclops' favor. Alright, so Iceman, I guess we could increase toughness for maximum HP, or do we level up Freeze Blast? We have 1 point. This requires 14. Cold Crush will be at level 12, which we'll get a point in that time anyway, so I might as well upgrade Freeze Blast to its maximum possible rank for now.
Okay.
Yeah, let's let Nightcrawler do something here, if he doesn't whiff.
This is gonna be fun.
The nice thing about Nightcrawler is that since Teleport Flurry hits so many times, it allows him to set up combos very, very easily. Can this work? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Come on, come on, come on, get over the barrier. Can we get him? Come on, why won't you fly over? Okay, I guess these guys, for whatever reason, have shorter legs, so we can knock them over into the pit easier. That is hilarious. Like, they're supposed to be the larger enemies, but for whatever reason, they're easier to launch into the pit. Oh, come on, we don't want the small guys. We're the big guys. Okay. Area's already over, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, that's so funny about Jean is, like, her melee damage will be by far the highest in the game towards the end, but she can barely do any environmental damage. Oh, yeah, this is a little unique thing. Wolverine is the only character that has 2 loading screens, because, you know, this was the era where Wolverine was the be-all, end-all as far as anything related to the X-Men goes. And for whatever reason, they have one for him with the Morlock sewers. Oh, he died too fast. There's the Morlock Giant. There was a Morlock Giant. Yeah, I don't know. That just feels cathartic, the whole thing with like tossing them off, tossing them over the railing there. Do I need help?
Who's next?
Okay,
I'm on it.
are these walls breakable? No, they're not interactable. Oh, wrong character. Rock on.
Got it.
Okay,
Will do.
these are breakable for sure.
I feel invincible!
Alright, what else can we do here?
Got it.
Just take care of these enemies. I gotta make sure I also level up Kurt just whenever I get rid of this enemy wave. I want to say there was a collectible. Goodness, speaking is hard. But yeah, I want to say there was a collectible item here somewhere. It might be deeper in the sewers. All right, let's level up Mr. Wagner. Teleport flurry, yes, more damage for that. The next point into this is really crucial because of, you see the amount of damage that the damage bracket we go into, going from 25-31 to 50-63 is really, really big. He kind of doesn't get hit much, so I might as well just keep adding more points into focus for him. When he's teleporting around, it's really hard for him to get hit.
You weren't so tough.
Yeah. I'm just going to be casually jogging away. Alright. And hopefully while we're using Kurt, because I want to get him to level 13 so we can equip the Hammer of Nimrod for the following mission. And assuming he keeps going well, keeps leveling as well as he is right now, he should be there or thereabouts as we proceed. Let's see, is there anything worth adding points into for Scotty right now? Let's see, at level 15, he is going to get the 2 points he wants to level up Optic Beam to Optic Blast. Now, oh, right, I guess this is a chance for me to mention this. When you look through the description, it all doesn't seem like that big of a damage boost, but the thing that it gains is that word right there after for destruction, piercing. Cyclops' Optic Blast will be able to hit through a line of enemies, and while that is a bit situational sometimes, it is really good to have, because all of a sudden, and you can see, like, we're fighting a lot of really enclosed spaces, right? So anytime that we're dealing with a whole bunch of enemies that are crowding us, that is going to be a key tool that Cyclops has to help. So considering that at level 15 we'll have 2 points for this, and then Toughness and Mutant Mastery will be with us, like, we don't need to focus too much on them, and they're honestly, you know, they're just kind of nice to haves. These can only level up earlier, more rather at level 14. So I'm going to save this point to activate Tactics on his next level up. Now, +2 striking, +2 agility seems really weak, but there is a reason later on why having that will be useful. It's a very short sequence, and it's not something that's for the long term, but
Got it.
it will make that sequence a lot less annoying when the time comes. Okay, good stuff. Yeah, I gotta be careful if I touch that water. If I touch that water, that's instant death. Alright, there's a save point. Is this guy not dead yet? Alright.
That was a blast.
Now, the game's saved. What needs to happen is we need to shut off this water, and that'll be done by taking care of whatever thingamajig handles that on each of the 2 trunk lines here. So that's what we're about to do. Very 90s comic booky build there, Gene.
You're done for, pretties.
Alright, so take care of some more Morlocks. And yeah, like, this game's music doesn't, like, it's pretty okay, but this music is like, it hits that exact pitch where it's really noticeable how how it sounds. Like, it has a very distinct sound that isn't very pleasant to me. And since the Morlock sewer area is pretty big, it does, you know, get on my nerves after a while. Yeah, I got back here because I want to, I forgot that I want to go sell some equipment and maybe get some more stuff for my characters here. Maybe get a, oh, yeah, that's not what I was trying to do here. I get it. People who actually do this for a living, I get it. The way you have to focus while you talk and actually do everything correctly is, I respect it. I absolutely respect it. Good thing I don't do this for a living. It's fun, don't get me wrong. I'm having a really good time just yapping away into space and just, you know, playing games I enjoy, and, you know, it's a good life. If you could make a living off of this, I mean, I wish I could make a living just playing video games, but, you know, I am kind of, oh, inertial dampener, that's terrible. Bands of the Beast, right, that is the unique item that you get for finishing a character's challenge, and usually this is kind of how it works. It's a plus 20% to their mutant attacks, plus 5 to a key stat, so that is pretty nice to have. Yeah, so what I was saying is that I'm kind of downplaying the difficulty of doing this for a living, just for a chuckle, I guess, but honestly, I've seen people who look at this and then, you know, they're looking at their views and they're trying different strategies to try to figure out how to make sure their presence is noticed, that they don't get buried by the algorithms. I mean, some of the stuff I'm going to put out, maybe including this, will not be seen. And I don't mean that in any kind of, you know, figurative sense. Some of the stuff is just literally not going to be seen. And because I'm in a situation where that's not a big deal, I'm okay with that. But, you know, for people for whom this is their livelihood, I can only imagine the stress of looking at these numbers, these figures that determine what happens with your income off of this, and what it means for any future plans you might have, equipment you need to buy, people you want to contact for, you know, collaborations or external opportunities, public appearances, and what have you, if you're going into that layer of it. Okay, so I've picked up the additional DNA generator I wanted and put it on Jean, since we are using powers a lot with her. I thought about putting it on Kurt, but for now, oh, we'd started in the West Trunk line, so let's go ahead and stick with that. But yeah, because of what I'm planning for Kurt for the next mission, I'm keeping that slot open for now. Wait, I'm still in the sewers for a while. Let's just keep going. Yeah, Kurt's doing good damage anyway for now, and he's recovering his energy decently well. I just wish he had a way to buff his normal melee attacks, because they're very, very poor. He doesn't have any real way to do much with them.
All right.
Oh, he was right next to me. Did I? Man, like I was saying, people being able to talk and keep their full focus for streaming purposes have so much of my respect right now. I completely forgotten or not noticed, whichever came first, that Jean leveled up. Alright, telekinetic combat still needs a bit longer. Psychic shout needs a bit longer. I'm not really upgrading telekinesis. I guess psionic strike. Yeah, psionic strike. And a point of body for durability purposes. Thank you, Genie.
Surprise, surprise!
Right. Affirmative.
That was a lot of energy spent for that one teleport flurry that didn't land.
Got it.
So I guess Jean's got to pick up the pieces now. Yeah, you see how much this melee damage is right now. We're doing like 33 plus per hit. Like, I'll go to Cyclops just to showcase the difference. Cyclops is doing like 5 per hit. Iceman, we'll show Iceman since he's another elemental combat. Okay, these guys are energy resistant, so they won't be the best case in point. I'll wait for the physical resistant guys. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Don't kill him, Jean. See, Iceman's doing 17 to 18 per hit. Jean is already doing double that. And when she reaches the point where telekinetic combat gets its next level up, that you're going to see that just completely go stratospheric. Yeah, and being able to just spam this thanks to DNA generator is pretty nice.
I'm on it.
Yeah, we're fighting a lot of the energy resistant people, so Cyclops isn't getting to do much right now. But he is standing there providing leadership, so that is something he gives. Those damage boosts are, you know, knocking down the enemies much faster than if we didn't have leadership.
Yes.
Think we can break through this wall? Yes, indeed.
You're done for, pretties.
Yes.
Wow, he can't even damage the wall. Like, Wolverine, because of sharpness, is probably the best character in the game at damaging walls with his physical attacks, but I mean, that is such a niche benefit to want out of a character. Not that Wolverine doesn't provide anything else, but, you know, it's a silly reason to pick a character, I'll put it that way.
Will do.
Soon you
Cyclops
ain't gonna
can
be so pretty.
handle these guys real quick. Yeah. Hey. And that's one of the 2 pumps knocked out.
Yes.
So iced you.
I so iced you. Very ice pun. Very cool and chill. Leaves me feeling a bit cold though. How much longer can I carry this on before the level of cringe kills me? Little traps here and there. Luckily I was paying attention. Not that they would have done that much damage, but, you know. Better to avoid incidental damage where we can, since, you know, enemy damage can be pretty high. Although, we've been doing pretty alright for durability in this area. Partially because of the team we're using, since Jean is dispatching enemies really quickly, and Cyclops is taking down some of the more dangerous enemies from afar, you know, the physical resistant ones, so... Yeah, you'll notice one of the pipes has stopped letting out that green water. It's green for some reason. Don't ask me why. I mean, yeah, the limitations of this era of PS2 gaming. And honestly, wait, never mind. There were some good-looking games on PS2 for the time, for sure, that were definitely capable of doing some really nice-looking stuff. But yeah, the era had a lot of games that have a very distinct visual feel. Oh, right, Jean just built this bridge while she was attacking. That gives us a comic book. I should remember to actually look at these at some point back in the mansion. Bit of a hot day today. Then again, it is summer in Riyadh. Is this guy still up?
Walking away from this.
Yes.
Combo.
Right.
Yes.
Alright. this, yeah, this is still from the era where Triangle was canceled, so I will make that mistake approximately 535 times as a conservative estimate. Alright. Can any of these enemies survive a full combo from Jean? I don't think so. A lot of them aren't making it past the second or third hit, or the third or fourth. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, 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 okay.
Okay.
Yeah, see, that was just a moment of me not realizing I was starting to get hit, and Jean was almost down.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah, in the later games, we didn't really get this level of separation between environmental damage and elemental damage. So, if I were to do Jean's Psychic Shout next to those crates, they would all just explode in the hypothetical world of this being one of the sequel games. Awesome.
Score one for the good guys.
But Allison said she was bad, Jean. Yeah, this is why I wanted Psychic Shout. It's why it's Jean's best attacking ability, but much better than Telekinesis, because you can see the level of coverage it gives around her. Like, there aren't that many attacks in the game that can actually pull that off. You know, attack all the way around you, hit multiple enemies, and eventually hit for big damage when Jean levels up her abilities enough.
Better luck next time.
Okay. That was so anguished. Alright, let's go. Smooth. More luck.
Give me a hand here.
I feel invincible.
Alright. It gets dicey when these guys, the giants, come in. And they're pretty dangerous, but also it is compensated by them giving like more than 4 times, or more than, if my math is right, yeah, more than 4 times as much experience as the you know, more typical enemies. Wait, oh, it wasn't Cyclops who leveled up. Never mind, it was Mr. Wagner. All right, so we can't pick up Blindside Blitz yet, but that'll probably be our level 15 pickup because I think the Teleport Frenzy is going to need Nightcrawler to reach level 20. Alright, so I guess just readjust how I'm sitting here for comfort purposes. I guess for Nightcrawler we can upgrade Leap of Faith just for those times where we might need a rescue out of nowhere. Okay, there's a sketchbook hiding over here. Are any of these walls breakable? No. There are no real rules for how this works, you just kind of try. Okay, these are breakable. Oh, right. The pump is right there. The objective. I was looking around just in case there was a collectible of some sort. Okay, I guess we just mosey back the way we came. Very quickly. No,
Yes.
Why am I not doing this? There's our bridge, which means our exit door is just over this way, back to the main line reservoir. I'll probably continue until I finish this mission. I think that's a reasonable amount for now. Don't know if I'll continue later today or if I end up doing it tomorrow, depending on whether people that I need to do work at the house are here. But for the time being, we carry on and go deeper into these sewers. We've saved the game, so we go into the Morlock Haven. So this is obviously not a boss area since we have a loading screen for one of our characters. We'll use Iceman here since this is considered a hub area, so to speak. It has the same rules as the X-Mansion. I never talked about that in the X-Mansion, did I? But in the X-Mansion, you're not allowed to throw attacks. Like I'm literally, like right here, I'm pressing the X button. I'm pressing every button possible. You're only allowed to walk around. But yeah, for the people who recognize her from Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Upworld. That's all she had to say.
Yes, I am Marrow. We have no need for the likes of you. Gambit. The radio transmission was obviously wrong. Your friend is knocked down.
I totally believe you.
You anger me because you live in a world of light and beauty, while we outcasts are forced to live in darkness. Liar! You speak sweet phrases, but you don't mean.
Yeah, I think the way the Morlocks are presented in this game almost feels a bit unfair, because the Morlocks are mutants. They're really fundamentally no different than any of the other mutants, but a lot of them are kind of like, you know, they've had their skin color changed or they're kind of disfigured by their mutation. So it's a lot more difficult for them to look accepted up on the surface compared to, you know, Iceman in his normal form, or Jean, or even Cyclops when he's just wearing his normal sunglasses. So I don't think that's presented very well here. It's presented almost like Marrow is saying, we don't care, we're just staying here anyway, and we'll get to the sunlight when we see that it's fit. And I don't think that's a fair way to, or a way to show the Morlock struggle beyond the surface level.
Marrow has forbidden any discussion on the subject. I cannot answer that. Marrow is losing sight of what her people want. She's leading them down a violent path.
Yeah, so now we have our second shop, which is Healer's Shop, where we can buy health packs and energy packs, but another useful thing is that he'll sometimes stock any Danger Room discs that we've missed. So it is nice to have that as a backup for if I forget one of these somewhere. But I think there's a limit to which ones he stocks in terms of how important they are. And I know for sure that he doesn't stock character challenges. So that is something to keep in mind if I end up missing those. Now we just got to find the exit here and just continue on our merry path. It seems to be denoted right here, so we go into the main line north. Gambit. Now, I mentioned before that usually this means we're about to fight a boss, but, you know, Gambit, as I mentioned, is going to be our next playable character. So, you know, just in case it wasn't obvious that Marrow may have been stretching the truth. Ooh, Spike Pit. Big enemies? No. Yeah. Oh, come on. Get picked up. There we go. Yeah, I took her down too quickly, but you might have noticed a new enemy type there, wearing a black vest. That's called a Morlock Goth, and they're healers, and the most annoying thing about them is that they will resurrect any enemies that I knock out if I don't take them out first. So usually it's best to immediately target them.
You don't belong here.
I gotta be careful how I handle this, especially on the bridge.
Oh, so sorry
Eh,
about that.
That's gonna be sold later.
You're in for a world of hurt.
Yeah, keep mashing them buttons.
I'm on it.
Okay, there's something behind that wall, so I'm gonna need Scotty to open it up. Looks like a sketchbook, sure. I don't remember the last time I looked at these comics or sketches playing this game. The comics are pretty cool though. They're like, if I remember correctly, they're comic covers from the real Ultimate X-Men run.
Yes.
That kind of shows off the characters in these new designs that they got for the Ultimate Universe. I'm not a fan of the designs per se, and Ultimate X-Men was definitely not the X-Men's finest run or their finest hour. Definitely has a lot of controversy associated, especially with just how creeptacular that version of Wolverine was. Both within X-Men itself and in other series, mainly Spider-Man.
Combo! You don't stand a chance.
Yeah, I want to take out the Goth here. So we'll dive down. Oh, come on, aim at the thing right next to you, Cyclops.
Got it.
Okay. Yeah. As I kind of expected, I'm mostly relying on Cyclops and Jean to kind of just solve all of this. But you see how funky this hitbox is. I'm just psychic shouting all of these guys from underneath the platform. Excellent design. There is so much jank. Now, don't get me wrong, I adore this game. I wouldn't be playing it if I didn't love it. I play this game a lot. It's been a few years since the last time I've played it, but it's a game I just come back to every once in a while.
Will do.
Sun Scums.
Combo! Combo!
I don't even know if I'm supposed to take that as a slur.
Got it.
Okay, Jean is almost. Wait, did Cyclops level up to 13? Cyclops has been our highest leveled character. No. So actually, it looks like Jean has been kind of catching up. So it's very likely they'll both level up soon. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Probably when I take down a couple of these guys.
Combo!
Never have set foot in our sewers.
Okay, there we go. The Goth escaped. And the thing is, like, I would let the Goth resurrect the enemies if it meant that I could double up on experience, but you can't. When you take them down again, you get 0 experience for them. So it's really not worth letting the Goth get the rest of the Morlocks going. Alright, so another point of focus, and as I mentioned before, so I don't forget, we put a point in tactics. Psychic Shout, wait, yeah, that needs one more level up. Psionic Fury, that's not as big of a boost as this for Psychic Shout. To get some more damage out of it, point of body, good stuff. Use Kurt to get us around a bit faster. This doesn't cost him too much energy to do that. Oh, I guess that can happen.
Will do.
That's a mechanic that'll show up in earnest later on in the game, but for now it's just a cute little thing that can happen if Nightcrawler tries to teleport past specific spaces and walls. Jean and Scott are already at level 13. How far is Kurt? Not too far. Hopefully the objective clearing bonuses will help.
This is gonna be fun.
Combo!
Sorry about that.
Yeah, the game gives you some experience that isn't based on defeating enemies, but just on completing your objectives. You get like these nice chunks of experience for that. Usually around the threshold you would expect to get to try to level up with. Oh, I thought it was another spike pit. That would have been really nice. Okay, more like Goths on either side.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's try this one down, and we'll pick up.
Mind quiet.
Oh no! I forgot that I didn't have Nightcrawler stuff. Oh, that is. Okay. Okay, that is not good right now. Okay, I need Kurt to be getting maximum experience here. Okay, what's the fastest way to travel here? There was a save point in the previous area, and I don't see one nearby here, so I'll just head back to mainline north, use the save point to bring Nightcrawler back. I don't know why I didn't hit the heavy attack button. That gives you like a little boost. I thought I'd activated acrobatics, which is the passive that gives him a double jump. I thought I had that on. That's why I did the jump that I did. That was pretty embarrassing, but you know, not a big deal. Where was it? Whoa, okay. Spike trap. Okay, there's a save point. No, you want to access it from here. Yeah, let's not jump just in case I, you know, mess up and end up losing Iceman on top of Nightcrawler. Alright, yeah. In one mission, our cost of character revival has quadrupled. So it can get a bit steep if I'm not too careful with keeping some tech bits handy. But for the most part, it shouldn't be difficult to stay at a healthy amount, enough for both equipment and revivals. Alright, now let's proceed again. I think it was this way. Yeah, there it is, the staircase on the other side. Just smacked right into that pipe. And it was here, right? Because this is where I did the, yeah, there we go. That's where I did the weird little teleport that separated the team. And when it says team separated like that, what happens is the rest of the team literally just stays put while you go take care of whatever you need to. It will factor in for a couple of puzzles in a later area.
Will do.
It's just a cute little thing that happens in the game, not much of a prominent mechanic.
Combo.
Thanks for playing.
Oh, these guys were already waiting for when we were last here. See, it's kind of deceptive because the water down there looks like the water we've been walking through this whole time to get here. Psionic deflector, that is getting sold frame one. I want to take out the Goth first. There we go.
You're done for, pretties. Get back to the sunlight. Okay.
Combo.
Okay, I completely lost focus there and started using Gene to attack the Goths when they're mental resistant. I mentioned earlier that most of the Morlocks aren't mental resistant. The Goth is the one exception. Teleport Flurry costs so much energy.
Combo. Combo.
Yes. Okay.
Alright, things are going well. Oh, the save point wasn't too far off, but I didn't remember that, so I didn't want to risk it. As long as the Goth goes down, that helps a lot.
Combo.
Got it.
Alright, good stuff. We save here. I'm pretty exhausted. Stayed up late. after watching Morocco versus France yesterday, which was an incredibly disappointing game to watch, honestly. I get that France are, at least in my opinion, the clear favorites to win the tournament at the moment, but Morocco are a much better team than what they showed last night. And I get it. One of the big things is that their ability in attack is definitely not up to par with the rest of their team. But even then, the level of hesitation moving forward that was on display from them, in terms of how slowly they were moving in specifically, was pretty disappointing for a team of their level of ambition, and I'm sure they're not going to be very happy with that. And the thing is, for Ashraf Hakimi, his physical prime is now, and for a following World Cup, I don't believe he'll still have that. It depends on how well he'll be able to, stay fit and avoid the kinds of injuries that are associated with players of his particular type. Speedy flank type players. But we'll see. There's Marrow, the next enemy we have to take care of here. Alright, let's take a quick look around. Alright, I want to say...
Okay.
This just hit me now. I want to say there's a collectible... I'm going to keep saying... see. Oh my god, English language, why have you abandoned me? There it is. Okay. Rogues challenge. I would have liked something more substantial than a challenge for a character that I'm not going to use, but, it is what it is. But yeah, I completely forgotten last time I played this game that there is a Danger Room disc hiding out there on the outskirts of the arena. And the only way you can reach it is by having a flying character. Or I think if Nightcrawler's teleport is leveled up enough to where he can get that far. Okay, give Jean a chance to...
Yes.
You know what, doesn't really matter, let's just go in. Right. So we have confirmed the very surprising fact that Marrow was lying.
It must frighten you that Morlocks will one day walk in the sunlight.
Combo!
And also about to discover the fact that she's a very easy boss.
One X-Men. We caught him spying. Very well.
Alright.
No worries. Old Gambit done already picked the lock.
Gambit, you little scamp.
I was hearing the Morlocks were getting cozy with the Brotherhood. Oh, I don't know about that. After all, y'all be here saving me.
I gotta admit, that's a reasonable response. Okay, time to head back to the mansion. Except, yeah, that's the problem. I've played the game before, so I don't get surprised by things, but, I'm still having a good time.
X-Men, I apologize for the telepathic intrusion, but from data gained at the HARP facility, I believe we've determined where the Brotherhood will strike next.
Is this the location Toad told us Mystique was so interested in?
Yes, Scott. And that location is the USS Arbiter.
Ain't that the new submersible aircraft carrier?
Indeed. Its exact coordinates are being...
Alright, so we know we're going to the Arbiter. This mission is one of the longer ones in the game, and definitely one with a lot of things that can go wrong. Now, I won't be playing it today, but let's see. We do need Iceman to put out fires and build bridges. We do need Cyclops for welding. Wolverine can take a break. Nightcrawler will continue his journey on the team. Now the fourth spot, because there's a little wrinkle thrown in the plans that Jean is not playable for this mission. So our options are Beast, Jubilee, Rogue, Wolverine, or our newest addition,
Gambit.
Thank you, Patrick Stewart. Now, Gambit. I want to like this character in this game, you know? Gambit's one of the most enduringly popular characters in the X-Men. The thing with him in this game is that his options for powers are a bit limited in terms of what they do as soon as you can get him. He takes a while for his damage to really get going, and even his elemental based buffs don't put in as much damage early on to help him get over that early hurdle. But once he's over that, he becomes this lightning speedster that can run around with his buff active, smashing enemies with his staff, or throwing cards at them with his spread projectile. Now, you've heard my opinions on spread projectiles earlier with Jubilee. They take a little too long to get going, and Gambit doesn't even get point blank shot to augment his. So, for the time being, let me take a look at the team. We have Nightcrawler for physical damage. The thing is, Iceman and Cyclops both also rely on energy and damage. So, if Nightcrawler runs out of energy, we are really in for it against energy-resistant enemies. So, that gives us the option of going with Beasts, Rogue, or Wolverine. Let's see. I feel bad for you. You never get to go out much or do much because of how limited you are in this game.
Rogue.
Let's go. We are taking Rogue. So Southern Strike is the main ability we're going to rely on. And yeah, I showed off ability drain in a previous episode. It's horrendous. So we are... She already has flight. Well, add some might and put on bulletproof. Yeah, I think this team will be fine. I'm just going to get to a save point and I'll call it once we get to there. All right, here we are. So the next time we come back to Legends is going to be when we do the USS Arbiter mission. Like I said, this is a mission where a lot can go wrong. There are a lot of elements to it. It's going to be, it's going to have us fighting a lot of different enemy types. And it's a pretty fun mission. I think it's one of those that really show what X-Men Legends is all about. Sometimes for better and worse, but you know, I will be showing it off next time we continue with X-Men Legends. So that'll be it for today. This has been Fro with the third session of X-Men Legends. We will be going with it. Wait, am I getting a little warning here from OBS? Oh. Kind of shows you that I'm not very good at this. I'm getting a warning that I'm not putting out a high enough bit rate for the stream, and I guess that is affecting the quality. Okay, for next time, I'll make sure that I try increasing that and see how far I can push it. All right, so that'll be it for this time. This was Fro. If anybody out there saw this and you're having a good time, hope you enjoyed. See you next time.